If he truly loves you, he'll prove it with two natural actions. Not with words, not with gifts, not even with promises. Because a man can say 1,000 beautiful things, but when it comes to love, his truth isn't in his mouth, it's in his behavior. And the deeper his feelings are, the more his actions begin to reveal what his words never could. Most women have been told to look for a man who says, "I love you." But the truth is, the men who truly love you will often struggle to say it, because their emotions confuse them, scare them, and even challenge their identity. Men are not trained to express love in the way women expect. They show it in ways that are quieter, subtler, and sometimes invisible unless you know what to look for. That's why in today's video, you're going to understand what really happens inside a man's heart when he's in love, and how to recognize it, not by what he says, but by what he does, without even realizing it. When a man loves you deeply, something inside him shifts. His instincts take control. He starts acting differently without planning it. He may not understand why he does it, but his body, his tone, and his energy will start revealing a truth his mind can't hide. The funny thing is, even men who think they're good at pretending can't fake these two natural actions. They happen automatically because they're rooted in biology, emotion, and genuine connection. You see, men don't fall in love through long talks, compliments, or emotional declarations. They fall in love through what they experience, through how a woman makes them feel in her presence. And that's why the real proof of love doesn't come from what he tells you when you're together. It comes from how he behaves when you're not around. When you stop calling, when you pull back your attention, when you stop trying to hold everything together, that's when you finally see his truth. Because if he truly loves you, he'll prove it through two natural actions that no man can fake. One that protects, and one that commits. The first few moments of a relationship are easy to fake. Anyone can act interested, consistent, or even romantic for a while. But over time, something interesting happens. A man's actions begin to align, or not, with his feelings. His attention shifts, his priorities reveal themselves. And when that happens, the women who know how to read these signals stop wasting time. They stop confusing affection with attention, and attention with love. Because a man who truly loves doesn't need to be reminded, chased, or tested. He naturally shows up in two powerful ways that reveal everything. This video isn't about manipulation. It's not about playing games or trying to make him prove something. It's about clarity. Because once you learn how men naturally express love, you'll stop asking questions that don't need answers. You'll stop wondering why he suddenly pulled away, or why he sometimes seems distant. You'll understand what's happening beneath the surface, and that understanding will bring you peace instead of anxiety. So if you've ever been in a situation where you couldn't tell if a man loved you or was just comfortable, if you've ever felt confused by his mixed signals, or if you've ever asked yourself, does he really care about me or am I just convenient for him? This is the video you need to watch until the end. Because I'm going to reveal the two natural actions that every man who truly loves a woman shows, even when he doesn't want to, even when he tries to hide it. And once you understand them, you'll never again have to chase answers, beg for clarity, or question your worth. You'll know exactly what kind of love you're receiving, and whether it's real or just temporary attention dressed as affection. There was a woman named Emily. She wasn't the type who fell easily, but when she did, she loved deeply. She met Daniel at a time when she wasn't even looking for love, yet somehow he made her feel seen in a way no one else had before. He listened, laughed, shared little pieces of his world with her. In the beginning, everything felt natural, effortless, almost magical. But after a few months, something changed. The messages became shorter, the calls less frequent. The small details, the ones that once made her feel special, began to fade. Emily tried to ignore it at first. She told herself he was busy, stressed, distracted, but deep down she could feel the distance growing. One night, while scrolling through her phone, she reread their old conversations. She could almost hear the difference in tone, from warmth and excitement to cold politeness. That's when a painful question hit her. Did he ever really love me, or was it all just temporary interest? The next morning, Emily decided to stop chasing answers. She didn't text him. She didn't check his stories. She didn't try to get his attention. For the first time, she just let silence do the talking. And what happened next revealed everything. At first, nothing. No messages, no calls. The silence was heavy, uncomfortable. She wondered if he'd already moved on. But then, something unexpected happened. Daniel showed up at her door. He didn't come with excuses or flowers or promises. He came with honesty. He said, "I've been thinking about you every day, and it scared me, because I realized I can't stop caring." In that moment, Emily understood something powerful. When a man truly loves, his actions always find their way back to you. Even when he's confused, even when he's scared, even when he doesn't have the right words. Love pulls him toward you like gravity. But here's the part most women miss. Not every man will do what Daniel did. Some disappear, some replace, some stay silent forever. That's why it's so important to understand the difference between attention and love, between someone who misses the feeling and someone who misses you. Daniel's reaction wasn't random. It wasn't manipulation or guilt. It was instinct. When Emily pulled away, his emotions were tested. And instead of vanishing, he naturally took the first of the two actions we're going to talk about. Men often don't realize this, but love triggers a sense of protection that overrides their ego. It's not something they plan or calculate. It's biological. When a man loves a woman, her absence doesn't just create sadness, it creates a sense of imbalance. He feels incomplete, restless. He may try to distract himself, but deep down, his instincts start pushing him back toward her. Emily didn't have to chase him, beg, or explain. Her silence revealed the truth, because when a man's feelings are real, his actions eventually expose them. And that's when the first natural sign of love appears, the need to protect what he fears losing. From that day on, Emily's perspective changed completely. She stopped interpreting love through words, gifts, or promises. She began to observe what really mattered, how a man behaves when the excitement fades, when there's nothing to gain, when he believes she might walk away. And that's what you need to understand too, because no matter how confident, strong, or independent a man seems, love always humbles him in one way or another. It turns certainty into vulnerability. It quiets his pride and replaces it with care. The men who love you will always show it, not in rehearsed gestures or dramatic speeches, but in quiet actions that reveal his deepest instincts. Actions he doesn't even know he's doing. So before you believe a man's words, pay attention to his patterns. Before you fall for the things he says, observe what he repeats, because love isn't what he tells you when everything's good. It's what he shows you when things get complicated. And when you learn to see those small unconscious actions for what they truly are, you'll never again confuse desire for devotion or comfort for connection. You'll recognize the difference between a man who's temporarily interested and a man who's emotionally invested. And the beauty of it all is that once you understand this difference, you'll start to feel lighter. You'll stop trying to prove your worth to someone who already knows it, or worse, to someone who never cared to see it. Because the man who truly loves you won't make you question it. His two natural actions will speak louder than any "I love you" ever could. When a man truly loves a woman, two natural actions emerge without him even realizing it. He doesn't plan them, he doesn't fake them, and he doesn't perform them for attention. They happen because his emotions have reached a depth that logic can't control. The first action comes from instinct. The second comes from commitment. And together, they separate a man who's simply interested from a man who's truly in love. The first natural action is protection. When a man loves you, his protective instinct activates, not in a possessive or controlling way, but in a quiet, unspoken way that says, "Your peace matters to me." He starts noticing small details. If you're tired, if you seem distant, if something is bothering you. He pays attention not to control, but to care. You'll see it in subtle ways. The way he walks closer to you when crossing the street. The way he checks if you got home safe. The way he defends you even when you're not around. These aren't acts of heroism. They're reflexes. It's his heart saying, "I want you to feel safe near me." And here's the truth most women never hear. When a man doesn't love you, his protective instinct never activates. He might desire you, enjoy your company, even say beautiful things, but his actions stay surface level. He won't notice the small changes in your tone, the heaviness in your silence, or the difference between your "I'm fine" and your "I'm pretending. Because only when he feels emotionally connected does his mind start to scan your world as part of his. Men who love you feel a natural sense of responsibility, not ownership, but connection. They want to make sure you're okay, even when you don't ask. They'll check on you without a reason. They'll think about your comfort before their own. Sometimes they'll even argue, not out of anger, but because seeing you hurt triggers something in them they can't ignore. That's the first undeniable proof of love, protection that isn't asked for. But here's where many women get confused. They think a man's protective actions mean he's ready for love. Not always. Protection is the first natural reaction, but not the deepest one. A man can feel protective instinctively, even before understanding his own feelings. But the second action, the one that defines real love, is emotional consistency. This is where his heart and his choices align. Because a man who truly loves you doesn't just protect you, he stays emotionally present, even when it's inconvenient, even when things get difficult, even when it would be easier to walk away. Consistency is the rarest form of affection. Anyone can be sweet for a few weeks. Anyone can say good morning when things are exciting. But only a man who's emotionally invested will continue to show up after the excitement fades. He'll communicate, even when he doesn't have much to say. He'll make effort, even when it's not comfortable. He'll choose to stay, even when ego or pride tell him to leave. And that's what differentiates love from attachment. Attachment depends on what you give him. Love depends on what he feels for you. When a man loves you, he doesn't need constant reward or attention to maintain his care. He loves because he feels at peace when you're okay, and uneasy when you're not. Pay attention to this. The man who's just attracted will protect his access to you. The man who's in love will protect you. The man who's just attached will stay consistent only when things go his way. The man who's in love will stay consistent because losing you feels wrong at his core. These two actions, protection and consistency, can't be faked for long, because they require energy, patience, and emotional connection. And when a man doesn't love you, he eventually stops doing both. He stops caring about your comfort, and he stops being consistent. That's when you start feeling confused, anxious, and unbalanced. Not because you did something wrong, but because his energy shifted away from love and back to convenience. Men express love through effort, but the effort isn't in grand gestures. It's in repetition. In small daily choices that show you're not just part of his life, you're part of his peace. The man who loves you will unconsciously protect your heart and consciously choose your presence. You'll know it when his actions stop being reactive and start being proactive. When he doesn't just comfort you when you cry but avoids doing the things that make you cry. When he doesn't just show up after you pull away, but stays connected enough that you never have to. That's love. Silent, stable, intentional. And maybe the most powerful thing about these actions is that they don't fade easily. Because once a man's heart bonds with you, even if the relationship ends, those instincts remain. He'll still care about your safety. He'll still wish you peace. That's how you know his love was real. It didn't depend on possession. It came from genuine connection. So if you're watching this and wondering if the man you're with truly loves you, stop overanalyzing his words. Observe his two natural actions. Does he protect your peace without being asked? And does he stay consistent even when it's not easy? Because the man who truly loves you doesn't let distance, pride, or silence destroy what he values. He fights, not with anger, but with persistence. He stays, not because he's dependent, but because your presence feels like home. And once you recognize those two actions, everything changes. You stop chasing love that's inconsistent. You stop trying to convince men who aren't emotionally ready. You stop mistaking comfort for care, because now you understand that love isn't what he says. It's what he naturally does over and over when no one's watching. The biggest mistake women make is assuming that words mean security, that if a man says the right things, he must feel the right things. But the truth is, words are easy, actions are not. And when you start ignoring the difference between the two, you begin to live in emotional confusion. You start believing that mixed signals are normal, that inconsistency is just how men are, and that love should always be uncertain. This is where most heartbreaks begin, because when you ignore a man's lack of natural action, you start to fill the silence with hope. You start excusing the distance, rationalizing the coldness, defending behavior that deep down you know doesn't feel right. You tell yourself, he's just busy, or he's not good at expressing himself. And while that may sound understanding, what you're really doing is teaching yourself to settle for less than genuine love. Every time you excuse inconsistency, you tell your heart that half effort is enough. Every time you accept attention instead of care, you teach yourself that temporary affection can replace emotional security. And little by little, you stop trusting your own intuition, the same intuition that once told you something was off. But the truth is, love doesn't confuse you. Real love calms your mind. It doesn't leave you waiting, wondering, or second-guessing. When a man truly loves you, his actions give you clarity, not anxiety. You don't have to chase reassurance. You feel it in the stability of his behavior. Ignoring this truth comes with a price. The longer you stay in a relationship where love isn't being proven through natural actions, the more your self-worth begins to erode. You start believing that love must be earned, that peace must be begged for, that being chosen is something you have to constantly fight for. But real love doesn't demand exhaustion. It gives you rest. Think about it. How many times have you over-explained your needs to someone who never really listened? How many times have you cried alone, waiting for a text that never came, convincing yourself that maybe you're asking for too much? You weren't. You were just asking for the kind of love that's real, the kind that doesn't vanish when you stop giving everything. The danger of not recognizing these two natural actions is that you end up chasing potential instead of reality. You fall in love with what a man could be instead of what he actually is. You keep investing your energy in someone who shows effort only when he's afraid to lose you, instead of when he feels grateful to have you. And the longer you stay in that cycle, the harder it becomes to believe in real love again. You start to assume that all men are the same, but they're not. The difference isn't in their words, it's in their actions. Some men talk love, others live it. And once you experience the second kind, you'll never accept the first again. Here's the truth no one tells you. When you stop accepting half-hearted effort, you filter out emotional pretenders. The men who just want your attention will leave. The ones who only love convenience will fade. And yes, it might hurt at first. You might feel lonely, empty, or even regretful. But what you're really doing is creating space for the kind of love that proves itself without being asked. Because here's the thing, real love doesn't need to be forced. When a man loves you, those two actions, protection and consistency, will happen naturally. When he doesn't, you'll always feel like you're fighting alone. And the more you try to compensate for his lack of effort, the more you'll drain yourself emotionally. You can't inspire a man to love you by giving more. You can't earn his consistency by proving your loyalty. The only thing you can do is observe what's already there. Because love, when it's real, doesn't need convincing. And if you stay where love isn't being expressed, you'll begin to lose something precious. Your own ability to trust, to hope, to believe that deep, steady love still exists. But it does. It just requires you to stop chasing men who say the right things and start paying attention to those who do the right things. The urgency isn't about finding someone fast. It's about not wasting another day misunderstanding what love should look like. Because every day you spend trying to fix a man who doesn't act with love is a day you delay meeting the one who naturally does. And once you understand that, you'll stop running after words and start recognizing the quiet, steady language of genuine love, the kind that speaks through action, consistency, and presence. Love isn't proven in moments of passion, it's proven in patterns of peace. The man who truly loves you won't need reminders, tests, or threats to show it. He'll prove it naturally through his protection and his consistency, two quiet actions that speak louder than any confession ever could. And maybe deep down, you already knew this. Maybe you've seen the difference between a man who only talks about love and a man who actually lives it. Because one gives you butterflies, but the other gives you stability. One keeps you guessing, but the other gives you calm. One loves you only when it's easy, but the other loves you even when it's not convenient. The truth is, real love is never about perfection. It's about presence. It's about a man who doesn't run at the first sign of discomfort, who doesn't disappear when you need reassurance, who doesn't make you question your value. His consistency is your reassurance. His actions are his words. You don't have to decode mixed signals or analyze every text. When a man's love is genuine, you'll feel it in the way he shows up. Not with grand promises, but with quiet reliability. He won't say, "You can trust me." He'll simply be there when you do. And here's what's most powerful. Once you stop accepting words without action, your entire energy changes. You stop chasing, proving, explaining. You become the woman who observes instead of argues, who listens instead of pleads, who lets time and consistency reveal the truth. And that's when love starts working in your favor instead of against you. Because men fall in love with women who know their worth, not the kind of worth that needs validation, but the kind that's built from clarity, the kind that quietly says, "I know what love looks like, and I won't settle for less." So if you're listening to this and realizing that maybe someone's actions haven't matched their words, don't take it as failure, take it as clarity, because clarity is power. The moment you recognize that love is action, not performance, You stop living in confusion. You stop overgiving to people who underdeliver. You stop mistaking attention for affection. And that's the moment you begin to attract men who show love the right way, naturally, consistently, without force. Remember this: a man who truly loves you won't confuse you. His words and his actions will align. His presence will feel safe, not heavy. His love will make you feel grounded, not anxious. Because love doesn't demand you to lose yourself. It helps you find peace inside yourself. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to reflect before you rush to text him, explain yourself, or fix what isn't being reciprocated. Sometimes silence says more than words. Sometimes the best proof of love is what you no longer have to ask for. And if you've reached that point and where you're done guessing, done hoping, done begging, then this is your reminder. You deserve a love that proves itself every day without effort, without doubt, without fear. Because when a man truly loves you, you won't have to ask for reassurance and you'll feel it. You won't have to question his loyalty, you'll see it. You won't have to beg for consistency, you'll live it. Let that truth settle in. Because the moment you do, you'll stop chasing love and start attracting it. Effortlessly, naturally, and forever.